Hi, Ospreys. I'm Noah from Spinnaker Radio, and today we're talking to Danielle and Laura from the Hispanic Heritage Month Committee. You two want to introduce yourself real quick? We'll start with Danielle.
Hi, everyone. My name is Danyelle Stokes, and I am the Intercultural Center for Peace Specialist, as well as the Student Alliance for Inclusion and Diversity Advisor and the point of contact for the Hispanic Heritage Month Committee.
Hi everyone, my name is Laura Rodriguez and I am the president of the Latin American Student Organization here on campus.
Awesome. Nice to meet you both. You want to tell me a bit about Hispanic Heritage Month, maybe about the history of it a little? And yeah.
Sure. So, the National Hispanic Heritage Month traditionally honors Latin Americans as well as Hispanic Americans, and we typically focus on traditions and cultures rooted in Latin American countries. So every September 15th to October 15th, we generally will celebrate all of these communities with different festivities honoring um, the culture and the rich heritage that comes from each of the countries.
Awesome. And how did UNF get involved and get started with this event?
So the Intercultural Center for Peace historically we focus a lot on the racial and ethnic identities from marginalized communities. So we typically spearhead a lot of the Heritage Month programming. So over the past decade or so, maybe more, we've been focused a lot on making sure that we cover the celebrations of the different cultures that represent the UNF community.
Sweet. So what are some of the events we're having this year to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month for
So
UNF?
this year we started off with our Hispanic Heritage Month kickoff, which happened on September 15th. President Szymanski as well as Mrs. Szymanski were in attendance. We had an awesome podcast speaker who served as our keynote, Herson Sanchez from Woke Wednesdays. We've been doing a lot of programming. So we recently had a Friday lounge spearheaded by the Women's Center and the LGBT Resource Center, focusing on the term Latinx because that's still a very new term for the Latin community to embrace. So they impact that. Tonight, we are exploring your Afro Latina dad with the Latin American Student Organization as well as the Black Student Union. Again, we deal a lot with intersecting identities and that cross sectionality. So they'll be focusing on the Afro Latinx culture. Um, Next week, the Department of Diversity Initiatives will be spearheading a, a program with the LGBT Resource Center. And that's going to focus on Mucho Mucho Amor, which is a documentary that focuses on the famed Walter Mercado. So we have that going on. And then we have a host of other events, including our Hispanic Women of Influence panel with ICP and the Women's Center. So we'll be highlighting a lot of Latinas in the Jacksonville community with Lorena Inklin from Action Jacks News serving as our moderator. We have tons of trivia on the LASO Instagram accounts, as well as cooking segments dedicated to the different Latin cultures on LASO, as well as BSU's Instagram accounts. We're also teaming up with UNF Dining and LASO to take some of the recipes that they have featured on their IGTV and bring them to life on Monday, October 5th. So you all will have the opportunity to taste some of the cuisine from these different countries. And then we ended out with Nuestra Noche, which is the Latin American Student Organization signature programming for the fall semester.
Awesome. Awesome. So there's lots to do, Ospreys. So make sure you get involved. Laura, you want to talk a bit about how you got involved with the Hispanic Heritage Month Committee?
Yeah, so I'm actually, well, I said it earlier, the president of the Latin American Student Organization. And I was already planning on doing some events for the Heritage Month, but Miss Danielle asked me to be on the committee, and so we're doing more joint events, and it's more of like a campus initiative and not just an initiative by the organization, which represents the Heritage Month. So yeah.
So, and you want to tell us a bit about the organization that you're the president of?
Yeah, so the Latin American Student Organization, also known as LASO, is the organization that basically represents Latinx students as well as Hispanic students on campus, and that includes people from Brazil, all of Latin America, the Caribbean, and Spain. So we're just here to create a safe space for people to learn about Latinx and Hispanic culture, but also for Latinx students to feel like they can be themselves and just be who they are in their culture without feeling judgment or whatever it may be.
Awesome. And you want to tell us a bit about the term Latinx? I know that Danielle talked about how that's kind of a new term. I thought it'd be a good time to just have a bit of an explanation for anyone that doesn't know about it yet.
Yeah, so Latinx is definitely like a newer thing because in Spanish, it's like masculine and feminine verbs, I guess you could say, and like nouns and stuff. So everything is like it either ends in an A when it's feminine or an O when it's masculine. But then you have like this whole group of non-binary people, people who don't identify as he or she within Latin America and like Latin American people who live in the United States. And so Latinx just became a term to kind of identify non-binary people. And it's still there's like a struggle with like the older generations who are trying to understand that. And even people like within the younger generations still don't get it. And like they'll be like, oh well, do I have to call myself Latinx if I don't identify as non-binary? And it's like, no, you call yourself what you would like to call yourself, you know? So there's still a struggle within our community about it, but I really do encourage people to use it because it's more like it encompasses more people than just he and she. So,
Awesome. And from what I understand, it seems to be a gender neutral word to describe the entire population too.
yeah, it's not just for non-binary people, it's everyone. So a lot of times if you hear me talk or in our Instagram post, we'll try to say Latinx/Hispanic so that everyone feels included.
Awesome. That's great. So, also we have on our Spotify right now, we've got a Hispanic Heritage Month playlist that was curated by Laura. Do you want to tell us a bit about that playlist, what's on it, how it came to be?
Yeah, so Miss Danielle asked me to do a playlist so that they could play it on Spinnaker Radio, and I was like, perfect, this sounds fun. Like, I usually only listen to Hispanic music, and then I started thinking, and I was like, I can't just put reggaeton and trap, which is what a lot of the younger generations like me listen to. I have to include things. So I started asking like older people in my family. I was like, Mom, what did you listen to when you were young? And I put some of her stuff in there. And then she was like, well, your grandparents used to listen to this. So I put some of that stuff in there. And I had Amarili Sanchez also help me. She's a grad student here at UNF. And she included a lot of like indie music that is in Spanish that I didn't even know was a thing. So we also have some indie music. We have like Spanish rock in there, salsa, merengue, bachata, obviously reggaeton, trap, all of that kind of stuff. Ballads. There's a little bit of everything and something for everyone.
Great. Yeah, and so there's 200 plus songs on that playlist. It's enough to last you Ospreys the entire Hispanic Heritage Month. Just hit shuffle, listen to some great Hispanic music from, like Laura said, from her parents' generation to current indie music to trap and reggaeton. So the whole spectrum is there. Um, awesome. So do you have either of you have anything you want to say? Any plugs, shout outs before we wrap up?
Most definitely. If you don't already follow Intercultural Center for Peace or LASO on Instagram, definitely check us out. Our handles are at UNF underscore ICP and at LASO UNF on Instagram, as well as our Facebook profiles. We will be programming, like I said, for the entire month. We have a lot of interactive activities going on via Zoom or through IGTV. So definitely hit us up and show us some love.
Awesome.
I was gonna plug our Instagram too, but I don't know when this interview comes out. But if it comes out today, definitely go and check out our Embracing Your Afro Latinidad event from 6 to 7:30 tonight, September 22nd. That's the date. So yeah, I don't know what to say.
Great. Any other shout outs from you, Laura?
Mm-hmm. Follow us. LASO_UNF.
Yeah,
Like, comment, subscribe,
definitely go
all
check
the
out
things.
LASO. They're great. I've encountered LASO, talked to LASO, been to LASO events. LASO's awesome, so go check
Thank
them out
you.
too. And also, as Danielle was saying, the Intercultural Center, Interfaith, all those inner things on campus are all they're all great. They're all really awesome. So make sure to use the resources you have, Ospreys. Thank you guys for both being here. Appreciate you coming by, and have a nice Hispanic Heritage Month.
Thank you for having us, Noah.
Thank you.